I guess we should move on to Scott Thorson, who needs to be
rest in peace.
Remembered.
Yeah.
Scott Thorson, best known for being the lover of Liberace.
What? I thought it was that he was Libby's chauffeur.
No. He was 17 when he met Liberace, and Liberace hired him to be his personal friend and companion. Now, how do you hire someone to be your companion? What the fuck is that?
Personal friend.
He lavished him with gifts, travel, mink coats, diamonds, and then Liberace promised to adopt him. What? Why would you adopt someone you're boo-fooing? That's ridiculous.
So you could take him across state lines. Isn't that what we learned from Aerosmith?
It's true. And then, of course, you got the great job driving Libby on stage in the Rolls Royce, which that's
pretty
not
good
a job.
It's a pretty good gig, though.
You drive a Rolls Royce 60 feet.
He's also in charge of the furs, though.
Oh, of taking it off Libby?
Yeah.
That's true. But I hated it. It was so stupid how Liberace go, isn't Scott doing a great job?
This is
Drove you on the fucking stage. That's
this
nothing.
is my personal chauffeur, Scott. My personal
Everybody
best
say hi.
friend.
Say hi to him.
Let's hear it for Scott. He did a great job.
And then, of course, he made him look like him.
No, that is the thing I can't get over.
That's what personal best friends do. They start looking like each other. Maybe Wojo's been hanging out with Estevez.
But having plastic surgery to look like one of the ugliest people in entertainment, what? Come on, Scott Thorson was hotter than Liberace. Why would you have surgery to look like the uglier person?
He's paying you to be his best friend.
Yeah, he's the meal ticket.
Then when he's getting the plastic surgery to look like Liberace, the doctor gave him cocaine, Quaaludes, Demerol, and amphetamine to get over the pain.
This doctor, man.
Wow.
Great doctor.
Yeah, hell of a doctor.
What doctor goes, you're going to be really painful after surgery. How about some cocaine?
Yeah, you're not gonna have enough energy.
You just had nose surgery. How about some more cocaine? What?
You're gonna need some get up and go.
Yeah. You're going to feel really groggy from the painkillers I'm going to give you. How about some uppers?
So he gets addicted to drugs, and Liberace just dumps him, just throws him out there.
On the streets.
I mean, that's bullshit. Just use him for his ass and to be your chauffeur driver and show him the lifestyle of a star. And by the way, Scott, I think he thinks he's a star to the bitter end.
Yeah.
Because he says he was blackballed in Hollywood.
Hot.
I mean, was there really a lot of demand for Scott Thorson?
Yeah, no, there weren't many jobs of people driving cars on stages.
And then he sues Liberace for $113 million for gayamony.
Palimony.
No,
Gayamony. And Liberace calls him a liar, a gold digger. There was no sex.
Wasn't it like a breakthrough case too? Wasn't it the
Yeah, it was
first
a
time?
huge-
Yeah.
First time anybody had ever tried it for the same
For
sex.
homosex, yes.
And it never went to court, though.
No, because Libby settled, gave him $75,000,
See, it's not true.
3 cars, and 3 pet dogs worth $20,000.
Scott, you can have those dogs.
Did Scott turn around and sell the dogs?
worth $20,000. I want 3 cars, 3 pet dogs worth $20,000, and at least $75,000.
It's okay. I have 6.
And Scott was like, $75,000, fucking A, I'm rich. Scott, what are you doing? Why would you settle for 75? You were suing for 113 million. You have the secret everyone wants to know.
Yep. Well, he cashed in on that.
Yeah, he did later on. He did go to prison, too, for felony drugs and burglary and he had hepatitis C. How did he not get AIDS, by the way? Liberace, like the gayest person ever to get AIDS.
Because
he's injecting that AIDS into you over and over.
Because that's where you're wrong. He was never injecting those AIDS into Scott.
Why? What do you mean?
He never boo-fooed Scott. Remember? We learned that from behind the... What?
No, behind the candelabra, he was the bottom always. Scott was the perma-bottom.
And on Who's Dated Who,
No.
it is confirmed. It is
No,
confirmed they
wait.
had sexual relations.
Wait a sec. I thought he just banged Libby.
Oh, no, I thought
Do
it was
I
the
have
other
it
way
backward?
around.
I think you're right. Maybe I have it backwards.
Yeah, I thought Scott was the bottom always.
Yeah,
So
Scott
Libby
wasn't allowed to be the top.
He was injecting AIDS into him regularly, all the time, because Liberace was all drugged up and fucked up, too.
Well, maybe he's got a strong anus. I don't know.
Power bottom.
That's amazing. I mean, I would have, if I was him, and he got back together, or he sort of, he went to visit Liberace when he was dying of AIDS.
Yeah, they have audio of that.
They do?
Yeah.
All right, come on, turn around. Give me that. Hey, ready?
Best friends.
Liberace sounds so horny. I bet he tried to nail him on his deathbed.
Well, why not?
One more
He's
time.
dying anyway.
One more time, Scott.
Just like the good old days. I got to show you this clip. I found Scott Thorson about 10 years ago was on Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, what a beautiful mess this is, because also with him is Dennis Hoff and some skank from the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, Dennis Hoff actually
Hired him.
bailed him out
Yeah.
of jail for $125,000.
Dennis Hoff was a great man to a lot of people.
He was. He helped Bob it.
But he also always had to have one of the chicks from the Bunny Ranch.
I know, which
on
is
the
so
interview.
annoying.
When we interview him, he'd be like, "Here, talk to Air Force Amy." And the next thing you know, well, I want to talk to her.
Done everything with her.
And you would be on the phone with the biggest idiot offering to have sex and do anything with anyone, but of course all of it had been done with Dennis already, like 5 minutes ago.
I felt like he always loved the fact that you pointed that out. Now that you're done with him, now that you try, he's like, "Oh, I got to try out the merchandise."
No, it was be like, yeah, she and I have been, we had a little relationship going for, a couple weeks. It's been wild, man. She's great. Here, talk to her.
No, I don't want to talk
Yeah,
to
she's
her.
able to screw you too. Like, no, I don't want fucking Dennis Hoff sloppy everything seconds.
So there's Scott. Look how cool Scott looks there. He's all tatted up, by the way, later in life. He's got his
He's got a vest on.
jean vest, yeah.
Fucking, is that a jean vest?
Yeah,
it's
it's a
almost as
jean
cool as a
vest.
Hooters vest.
Almost.
Look at that. And look at
David
this.
pounded Mike Douglas. Wow.
So it starts with Dennis Hoff talking about the movie.
I like them more now. I thought that was great.
It's Jim Norton.
Is that how
You sure
you?
gave him a pounding, huh? Catherine's got to be jealous.
Was anything like what you did to Liberace?
Well, I didn't do it quite that hard. He was a little older,
Yeah, at the time.
Was that true though? Was he really like? Because that might have saved your life. Like the fact that he wanted you wanted to fuck him and you didn't want him to fuck.
Yeah, he didn't fuck me and I didn't fuck him.
He just
So
blew
that-
you
you.
fuck him.
What?
He blew you though, right?
he blew me.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Wait,
What? No.
Oh, man.
See, Dennis Hoff is with you.
You were the one getting all the diamonds and the furs and all that. He was boo-fooing you. That's what the movies. I could swear. Can we Google this?
Well, see, Norton is saying, you just banged Libby, but he wanted to bang you.
I'm a fan of both. I like them more now. I thought that was great. Is that how
He
you?
sure gave him a pounding, huh?
He sure
Catherine's
gave
gotta
him
be
a
jealous.
Was anything like what you did to Liberace?
Well, I didn't do it quite that hard. He was a little older,
Yeah,
Gross.
at the time.
Was that true
Oh my
though?
God,
Was
that
he really
idiot.
like? Because that might have saved your life. Like the fact that he wanted you wanted to fuck him and you didn't want him to fuck.
Yeah, he didn't fuck me and I didn't fuck him.
He just
So
Oh,
that-
you
blew
didn't fuck him.
No,
He blew you though, right?
he blew me.
Yeah.
Maybe
What
Scott.
does she know? She's the whore with Dennis Hoff.
He blew you, right? That was her contribution to that
What
conversation.
is this idiot doing with an open mic?
Don't you just want Scott to go, "That's because we were making love. We weren't fucking."
Wait, what? Oh, man.
You weren't having anal sex with him? I thought you were. You were the giver.
No, I think just
He was
once.
never nothing.
No,
to once.
bullshit.
No,
so
just
full-
once.
he's so
but
full of
it
shit.
was always protective sex, and I think
Yeah.
that's the
No
one I was
way.
alive. But he blew me. I never blew him though.
You never blew him?
Get out of here,
You
Scott.
never blew Liberace?
Listen to Norton.
Come on, what kind of a
No.
friend are you?
Had an ugly cock. it was full of what do you call it? Silicone.
Was it? He
Yeah.
siliconed his dick up?
Yeah.
Now
And it was all lumpy, and he was uncut, and it was ugly.
he had
Wow.
an uncut, lumpy silicone cock.
And he couldn't
Liberace.
get it hard
He couldn't get hard either.
because of
Damn.
all the silicone.
How?
Wow. Wait a minute.
How big was it lengthwise?
About that long.
No, was he really that long?
Yeah, he was
Are you
big.
serious? But he was
You know
Italian.
what
That's
they used
why.
to do? And they actually
Shut
did
up.
this to
By the way,
John
another
Bobbitt,
great
I think.
contribution from that
With Ron
idiot.
Company
He was
with
bigger
that.
than me, though.
They cut that muscle. They cut the muscle so it just kind of
Dennis
hangs
Hoff's
under
talking about
it
the
gets a lot
ligament.
longer.
Well, don't they pull it out a little bit more too?
Yeah,
you
it
got a
makes
little
it- it
extra
makes
in
it
there.
longer, then they
you
shoot
cut
it
the
up with
tendon,
a
and then you can
silicone.
pull it actually out to make it longer.
Yeah, like John Bobbitt, when they shot him up with all this stuff, it looked like a lumpy Red Bull can.
Just like
Man,
Red Bull
Now it's easier. You can use the cock pumps. They work great.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
They work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick pump works.
But his dick was long and silicone and lumpy, which meant that it wasn't silicone properly.
And uncut. Ugh.
Oh, you don't like uncut?
He was ugly.
That's why I preferred it as
He's
ass.
ugly dick.
When you can't pull
have to
this,
see
when you
it.
can't pull the skin away from the head.
Oh, come on, Thorson.
Oh God. What?
TMI, Scott.
No, that's phenomenal
Boy,
information.
Gosh.
That's saying
enough
someone when
That's
the when the chick from the bunny ranch thought it was too much information.
Isn't listening to this.
So you and Christy can compare cock stories.
I hope Weintraub's eating breakfast right now while listening to this.
So he would suck your dick, and what would you do while he was sucking your dick? Just think of somebody else, or would you
Just close and fantasize.
Would you really not? You never fucked him? Come on, never once? Just once?
I think once I started to, and I didn't like it.
What didn't you like about it?
I was
Such a
only
liar.
16 years old. Come on.
Oh, you were that young.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was young.
How did he get off then? Like, what was in it for him?
I guess he just jerked. He had
Yeah.
one of those bags that he would use. One day I caught him using it, when he came in.
What's the bag?
And he quick pulled it up and threw it in the drawer. I don't know, it was a pump bag, and he was sitting there pumping it. And I
So
was
because
watching.
Libby
it,
couldn't get
I
hard,
was
so he would
watching
pump
it.
his dong up.
That's when he had his wig off and he threw it over the shower.
Isn't that wild?
He can't get his penis hard no
Libby.
matter how much he tries.
So much going on there. It's incredible.
There's too much going on there. yeah.
Scott Thorson trying to basically reinvent history for starters. Then you have Dennis Hoff bringing the whore he's been nailing in, who has an open mic and has no business saying anything in that
But
conversation.
at least she sounds sexy, right? What? Like when she says, "I'm getting Italian."
What are you talking about? Oh my God.
He goes on to tell a story that he basically dated Michael Jackson for 3 years. Thorson.
Yeah.
And they were giving it to each other every which way.
But doesn't he absolve him of any criminal activity with minors?
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
Yeah, it's
he didn't
another
do that.
Scott Thorson whopper.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge whopper.
But at least they're reunited. In heaven,
that's right.
With Dennis Hoff.
He acts like, we're going to play a few clips from another interview he gave to, I think the other guy's name is Scott, too. Scott. And he implies like he and Jackson, like he knows all these, he's real buddies with all these people. Well, he met them with Liberace in 78 or 80 or whatever. Did Michael Jackson would go, "Oh, Scott Thorson, how you doing?" Woo!
He said,
"I love you."
Lee introduced me to him in 1982, and then we broke up.
Yeah, but he sued Liberace and Jackson. There's no way he'd mess around with somebody who had sued Liberace.
Well, maybe that's what got Jackson up.
Plus, he could have been injected with AIDS, which could be active in his butt.
He said, Thorson said after Jackson put out the Thriller, after he put Thriller out, that's when he called it off because he was getting too big. And I'm sitting there going, no. Michael Jackson was big before the Thriller.
That's when he called. When
he broke up with Thorson because he was getting too big.
Come on!
Jackson was big as a child star with the Jackson 5.
So Jackson saw the gay ammonia case and was like, "I want Scott Thorson so bad. I wish he was mine."
Well, he said one of the things they bonded over was that they both had plastic surgery because he didn't like his Joe Jackson nose.
I don't think
Joseph Jackson.
But had Jackson had surgery by then? I'm not sure he had.
Everybody in Hollywood get plastic surgery.
By the Thriller? I don't know. He also claimed, too, there's another Thorson whopper that they used to have orgies. It was him, Libby, Siegfried, and Roy, and Rock Hudson.
What? I
don't know.
Oh, my God.
He said,
why didn't somebody film that? That would have been wild.
It's probably on 35 millimeter somewhere.
Oh, my God. Rock Hudson would not be in an orgy with Liberace. There's no way.
Just wait till Siegfried dies. Maybe they'll find it in his storage unit.
Rock liked young blondes. So he might like Thorson. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think.
That's literally the last man standing.
Maybe that's where all that AIDS got created. Rock Hudson and Libby in the same orgy? I mean, it could have been like super AIDS. You never know.
Definitely mutated.
That's pretty wild. Wait, who else was there? Rock?
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy, but they didn't have any AIDS, did they?
All I know is that Siegfried has all the secrets now, right? He's the last man standing.
That's right.
From those orgies.
He looks like he's on AIDS.
And he's a blonde, so Rock would have liked him. Right?
Why not try AIDS?
That's right, because his pool was full of young blondes.
Every time he came home from a shoot.
I mean, imagine like coming home and you have a pool in your backyard and it's just full of hot blonde chicks.
Incredible.
How cool would that be? And they're all getting it on with each other and they want to get it on with you.
And the pool was filled by his lover / assistant. How cool is that?
Who was his assistant? Maybe he was also at these orgies.
Could have been. Wait, so what did Roy look like? I can't remember.
Roy?
Yeah.
Roy Horn?
The one that died.
Yeah. I don't know. They both look the same, right? They're all chiseled
brunette.
and.
Not Roy after the tiger went after him.
Maybe Montecore was at the orgies too.
Roy looks ridiculous.
What? That's a good look.
Oh my God! Did
You know,
they,
like his soul patch?
Can you imagine how much money they spent on frosted tips?
They had a budget for it, yeah. Look at him there.
With the 2 baby tigers.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
But yeah, after the attack, he was a little goofy looking. But
Yeah, he actually looked better than you would think.
It's really classy them to not blame Montecore, though, the tiger.
I know, that was so
No,
cool.
he was
It's like
trying to
Connor
save
Stallions
him.
and Jim Harbaugh.
he was trying to save him.
That old trope. Yeah, the tiger's trying to save him by just tearing his whole body apart.
Ripping his face off and biting down on his neck.
So ridiculous.
Usually when I want to save someone, I want to attack the neck. What is he talking about?
Don't think so.
Those poor
Oh my
tigers.
God. To think there were people that did not know they were gay. Okay.
Scott.
With each other.
Yeah. I mean, they lived together, too. It's like, why are 2 guys that are 50 living with each
And
other?
they're just roommates, like Ray and Pete.
And they're doing magic together.
Like Ray and Pete.
Yeah, maybe Roy was gay and Siegfried wasn't.
Just roomies, business partners.
And Wayne Newton recorded them. They were next door.
Have you seen Wayne Newton lately?
Oh, boy.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, does he look bizarre?
What are you talking about? He looks not a wrinkle on him. Jet
No,
black
there's not a
hair.
wrinkle. That's true.
He's forever youthful.
How old is Wayne? He's 82 now?
Yeah, he's in his 80s. I forgot. I saw him doing an interview about
Fantastic.
somebody, and I was like, oh, my God, what happened to him?
Oh,
Looks
boy.
bizarre.
He looks great. What are you talking about? He looks like he's melting. He looks like
He looks
Brandon.
like an animatronic.
Remember?
Look at that perfect hairline.
He looks
too.
like a burn victim.
Remember
Come
the
on.
sketch in I Think You Should Leave where he's wearing the full body suit? Tim Robinson is, including the mask. That's what it
I don't
looks
even
like.
want to be around anymore.
It looks like that. That's such a great sketch.
And not a gray hair on his head.
No.
It's amazing.
Great hairline, too. Solid.
Yeah, no,
Face
and
looks like
full.
clay.
And bright white teeth.
That is a full head of
No
hair.
dentures, no nothing. That motherfucker's so rich, too.
So Scott Thorson is so proud of the 11 Emmys that he won, and he's celebrating, giving interviews about Behind the Candelabra. And it's like, no, you did not win any Emmys. All you did was had Libby's dick in your ass. That's it. You didn't do anything else. And then you insisted everyone for 30 years that it was in my ass when Libby, of course, always said it wasn't. And then finally Hollywood said, yeah, I think it was. And they made a movie about it. So let's see. He acts like he's so involved in this movie. You would think he would have a major credit or something because he's talking about what a great job these guys that made the movie did. They studied him so hard.
They studied film,
Sounds like Matt
clips
Berry.
of Liberace, clips of me, right down to the makeup, to the costumes. I mean, they spent an awful lot of time and money.
Why does he talk like that?
All the work that he's had done.
It's just incredible how they put it all
Did he
together.
get surgery to make
I'm
him
very
sound
pleased.
like
I mean, Jerry Weintraub?
Liberace when he sounded like
Jerry
that?
Weintraub and Steven Soderbergh. And so I'm delighted. I had the best producer, directors, and cast. I mean,
No,
the
you
cast
didn't
did
have any of those.
fantastic makeup.
It was not
We
you.
walked away with costumes.
Great chauffeur.
Well, what made you decide, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write this book? What prompted you to
Money.
sit down
I had some
and spend
bills
some
that needed to be
time
paid.
do this?
Right.
Well, I think back then when Lee Liberace and I, we had that split, I really...
You
really
were seduced by the lifestyle.
Shafted in the deals. I mean,
Shafted.
they made me out to be a liar, a disgruntled employee.
Disgruntled
a
His
gold
dick was
digger.
in my ass.
And they blackballed me from Hollywood. And I
Where you
fought
had no
back.
future.
And I dared to fight back. I was very young, and I took this powerful entertainer on. I just felt that people didn't know the true story.
That his wiener was in your butt.
And 26 years later now,
That's the whole story,
everybody
isn't
knows.
it? Really?
Yeah.
And I'm a strong
Nobody's
believer
arguing
in
about the
karma.
Rolls Royce.
What goes around comes around. And I had to tell the true story.
Goes around, comes around.
Not saying anything bad about Liberace. We all have a dark side about us. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. I don't think there's anybody on earth that's perfect. But it was a story that had to be told. And
his wiener was in my butt.
And it just
That did
blows my
not need to be
mind
told.
that, here I stand.
I mean,
with
maybe
11
for you to pay your
enemies,
bills.
And the people received it so well.
Okay.
By the way, why is Liberace's nickname Lee? That's not his real name, right?
Warren, his name is Warren.
Yeah, something
his
like
given
that.
name.
Yeah.
Scott, isn't Thorson's ego out of control?
Yes.
Can you play a clip of Matt Perry at the Friends reunion? I think they sound alike.
If only Matt Perry was gay.
The cookie.
What comes around goes around. His wiener was in my butt.
Let's see.
There's a penis in my
I
butt.
stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
Did they go to the same dentist, do you think? So, let's see. 546. He's talking about. It's just more about. He acts like he's the star. It's just ridiculous. Get over yourself.
Well, how else was Libby going to get on stage if he didn't drive him in the limo?
Right.
Yeah, and draw attention to him. And Scott doing a great job.
There he is. Look
My
at him.
chauffeur.
Give him a hand.
Pretty patronizing, if you ask me, Libby.
He paid him.
That's true.
I've had my legal problems because of addiction not too long ago.
Well, there was the burglaries too,
and I survived it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just time to
Survived
grow
Libby's
up and
wiener,
smell the
too.
roses and enjoy the 11 Emmys and stay tuned
They're
for
not
book 2 of the
yours.
movie.
Interrupt him and tell him they're not his.
Much was too much for him.
I think
Yeah,
The
he,
bass.
he
Too much
loved
wiener.
the public.
Yeah, the
He
bass.
loved the attention, and he went to great lengths to protect his name. And he was a very private man, and he wouldn't have liked this film.
Really?
Because he went to great lengths to protect his homosexuality.
To protect
Back then, you know, in the 50s,
he's
from 50 to
protecting
59,
his
he had a
privacy.
television show, Big Star. And then 50 years in the show business. I mean, his 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s on top. His last performance at Radio City, 2.5 million people. The highest paid.
Wait, what?
He still holds the record, the highest paid musician in the history of show business.
No, he doesn't.
Still holds it.
No, he doesn't.
Guinness, the highest paid and the world's fastest piano player. He was an incredible man.
Okay,
He
world's
was
fastest piano
ahead
player.
of his time. How
Ahead of his
would
time.
you describe Liberace today? Well, he's Elton John and Lady Good.
Do you think he still would have wanted to play if he was around? Or
I
Elton
don't
John.
think so. I mean, he'd be 92 years old today.
Frankie
He was
Valli
born,
does
May
it.
16, 1919. So I mean, I think he would have played up to, as long as he could have. Other than outside of dying of AIDS, he was a very healthy. When I was, he was always very healthy.
Dying from AIDS.
It was a shock to all.
It's a pretty major ordeal,
especially to me. But that's what I'm saying. Too much of a good thing will kill you.
Too much wiener. No, he acts like he's a star, and then he's so exaggerating Liberace. What do you mean 2.5 people saw him at Radio City Music Hall? How is that possible? Was it televised?
What did he have a residency for 8 years there?
He was not the highest paid musician by a mile.
No.
That's totally absurd. I think he likes elevating Liberace. He thinks it makes him a bigger star because his wiener was connected to him.
Yeah.
Which is ludicrous, because that's the only thing this guy has fame for, is because Libby's wiener was inside him.
Oh, God, stop saying that. Gross.
Sorry. If he just drove the limo or the Rolls Royce on stage and got the, isn't Scott great? Nobody would fucking know him, because we saw the other limo. We saw the other Rolls driver. Remember?
That's
Nobody
right, yeah.
remembers him.
I feel like Scott. So it's Scott's fault? Is that what you're saying? Because he sued him because he broke up with
Yeah.
Libby?
The only reason anyone pays attention to Scott Thorson is because
Wait a sec.
Libby boo-fooed him.
He was a big witness in the Wonderland murders.
That's
true. Yeah, that is. Now, what's the story behind that?
That's a big story.
That's all I know is it was in his eulogy, and I'm like, really? I had no idea it was connected to the Wonderland murders.
You know what? He was going to capitalize on that too.
I think there's one thing Scott Thorson's good at, and it's capitalizing.
He in the last cut here, he's talking about my second book, which is going to be about the rest of my life, which nobody cares about.
the rest of your
Once
life.
Liberace's wiener gets nowhere near your anus, there is no interest in you. Zero.
Except for Michael Jackson. 1989, Thorson emerged as a witness in the prosecution of gangster and owner of the West Hollywood nightclub Starwood, that's Eddie Nash, in the quadruple murders of the Wonderland gang in 1981. He was placed in the Federal Witness Protection Program.
Yeah, I was in the witness protection
Did he
program.
touch John Holmes' penis?
That's going to be my second book.
That's really interesting. I don't know why.
If he had gotten a hold of Holmes' penis,
Oh, my
he would have
Lord.
made millions off that.
Definitely would have got AIDS.
So here he is talking about. He's talking about Liberace at home. When you speak
the
real.
clothes came off and the terry cloth robes came on, and no jewelry, no makeup. He was a very average man. He would
The
cook,
penis
he'd
pump came out?
pick up the
What?
dog droppings. He did average things. He'd love to
Liberace picked
shop.
up dog
He
shit?
loved the public. He didn't have bodyguards.
He had a
He
penis
did a lot
pump?
of decorating. He bought homes. He loved to spend money. He loved to shop. He enjoyed life.
he had injections in
enjoyed
his
his
penis?
stardom. He
Very
loved
modest.
being a star, and he was a tremendous star. There were
was a very
two
modest
sides of
guy.
Liberace. On stage, he was Liberace. Then at home, he was Lee. I knew him as Lee. I knew both of them. And I think
Yeah, Lee
what
used the penis pump, not Liberace.
gave us such a long relationship was because I didn't kiss up to him. I was very real when he was on stage and when he was in the
No,
public.
you took
I
it
treated him
from
like
him.
a star.
You were
But
the
when he was
bottom.
home, he was an average person. He was a good person. He had some faults. I have faults. But you got to give him credit where credit was due.
Right. Well, my last question for you is this. Now, you're in the midst of finishing, I'm not sure what stage you are, in writing Beyond the Candelabra.
Beyond the
Just talk to
Candelabra.
us quickly about
Get
what
outta
that
here.
book holds. What do you hope for that one? What's the story you want that to
Nobody
be told?
cares.
I think this book will show my life after Liberace from
boy.
Nobody cares.
1988.
Well,
it's
Jackson.
going to get into 2013. Very interesting. My ups and downs, the drug addiction.
Oh, yeah, fascinating.
No one cares about
The
that.
witness protection program, the Laurel Canyon murders, which is also
Yeah,
known
once
as
again, he's the star.
Wonderling killings.
I'm the star.
Being put on the witness protection, testifying, becoming an evangelist, working with Billy Graham.
No, no,
No
no,
one
it's
cares
not
about-
worth Billy
In and
Graham.
out of
Get out of
prison,
here.
that.
working with the drug cartel.
What?
I keep it very real. I tell the truth. My relationships with Michael Jackson, Loretta Lynn,
Hey.
Larry Gatlin,
Oh, yeah, that's keeping it real.
some of the biggest stars.
This is a
you know,
fiction book.
Winding
Loretta
down
Lynn.
with presidents, queens, and kings. And
You did not
we
dine
hope to
with
get Matt
presidents.
Damon interested in continue to play Scott Thorson. And I think we have a pretty
Third
good shot
person.
after winning 11 Emmys. So I'm very excited, very pleased.
Won 11 Emmys? You
Dave
did
Martin
not
and Simon
interrupt
Schuster
him.
very interested.
Oh, they're
Wow.
very interesting.
won 11 Emmys.
Did not win 11 Emmys. My God, he's so full of shit.
Like a rainbow
But we'll miss him.
fading in the twinkling of an eye.
The great Scott Thorson. He is definitely.
Too soon.
Oh man.
Bye,
I
Scott.
miss you very much.
Goodbye.
Great driver.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your
When he
minks.
dies, I will scatter his ashes in my toilet, and then I will scatter something else over that.
Can we see some video of Scott driving the Rolls Royce?
Yeah, we've had trouble finding it in the past. We just
I know.
find his reply. I think Libby had it, the internet scrubbed.
Oh no! No way. The internet didn't exist when Libby died. Maybe he left it in his will. If there's any
anybody comes-
technology that shows Scott driving me, I want it scrubbed.
Oh,
And
thank
if
you,
Siegfried
Scott.
or Roy releases a video of the orgy
With Rock.
Oh, here it is.
Rock didn't pay any attention to me.
Is that Scott?
I think that's Scott, but I can't tell because I don't know if he's had his Liberace surgery yet.
Could you imagine wearing that outfit? Either
my
one,
God.
either one of those outfits.
He's got
Libby's
a
gonna
long
thank
tail.
him. Libby's gonna thank him.
Thank you very much. Well, look me over. I didn't get dressed like this to go unnoticed. It's wonderful to see all of you, and thank you for that lovely welcome,
Why is
ladies
Scott
and
standing
gentlemen.
there?
Before I go
job.
any further, I have to find out, how did you like the entrance? Was that okay?
Yeah.
Did you like
I
that?
don't think you needed a car,
Oh, great.
personally.
Thanks, Scott.
Well,
Unless you're butt
I have
fucking
to
that
tell
guy.
you how I got the idea. I had the wonderful honor just recently of being invited over to London to give a Royal Command performance for the royal family.
Boring.
So, I figured such an important occasion, I better give them the works. And then after it was all over, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a lasting remembrance of that beautiful occasion to bring back
Just
to
play the
Las
piano.
Vegas to share with all
Let's
of
go.
you. So I
Give
brought
Scott
back
a
a
shout-out.
souvenir. The Rolls Royce. What do you think? Do you like it, huh? You do. Wonderful. Oh, great.
Was a guy standing there.
Why is
Well,
he
let me
standing
tell
there?
you, I'm kind of proud of it myself. You know, most people know I collect pianos and that sort of thing. But lately, I've gone into collecting unusual automobiles. And they tell me this is the only Phantom 5 Rolls-Royce limousine in the world with a left-hand drive. So after I got it over here, I had to find me a left-handed chauffeur, right? I want you to meet my friend over there. That's Scott Thorson.
It is. Yes, Scott.
Doesn't look like him though.
Scott waves to the crowd like,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you like
I drove
the car.
him.
Boy, it really stops traffic when I shop at Safeway.
And I just blow a load in Scott.
Especially in this coat. I'm kidding about that.
What?
Let's say goodbye to Scott, okay?
Bye,
We'll see you later,
Why did you
Scott.
fucking say
Bye-bye.
goodbye to him? That's ridiculous.
Bye, Scott. See you, dude.
No, this is the coat that was designed.
What if you're
to
just
wear
this
that.
huge crashing sound?
He's high as shit.
I'm sure that wasn't Scott.
Is Scott okay? Well, I'm gonna make sure Scott's okay.
Just because you were in Scott's ass does not mean you have to fucking introduce him. It's ridiculous.
I guess God needed a chauffeur.
Let's say hi to Scott. And Scott is all about it too. He's like, hey, that's me.
See, I'm part of that show.
I just drove 10 yards.
I'm the left-handed guy that can drive this car.
Scott.
Stupid.
I'm the left-handed guy that can drive this car. Ridiculous. Scott.
Just down up in the trunk, Scotty.